So students, in this video, we are going to look at examples on inner joints, left joint, right joint and cross joint. We are not going to study the syntax of the joints. The syntax of the joints has been covered in a previous video. So in case you don't know the syntax of the joints and the various rules, please watch the previous video on joints that I have shared and then watch this video. Okay. So in case you have watched the previous video, then you can continue with this video. So basically, we have learned in the previous video that joins are used to retrieve data from two or more tables. So whenever we want to retrieve data from two or more tables, we can use joins. So let's look at the first type of join known as the inner join. So the inner join returns only rows when a match is found in both the input tables. The matched rows are based on the attributes supplied in the join condition or the predicate. If the join predicate operator is equal to, then the join is also known as a equijoin. So let's look at the example. So now we are trying to retrieve data, that is the name and class ID from two tables. Okay. One table is the students table denoted by the alias S, and the second is the enroll table denoted by the alias E. The join condition is specified like this. We are going to match these two columns, the SID of the students table and the SID of the enroll table. If there's a match, then the name and the class ID will be retrieved and it will be displayed in the output. Okay, so let's just trace it quickly and see how it works. So first, based on this join condition, you're going to match the SID, okay, of the first tuple with the SID of the enroll table. Okay, there's a match. So therefore, you're going to retrieve the name and the class ID with the match tuple. So you're going to retrieve Jones and you're going to retrieve history 105 and you're going to display this here in the output. Okay. Now you're going to match the SID with the second tuple. Again, there's a match, okay, with this SID with the second tuple SID of the enroll table. So therefore, you retrieve the name and you retrieve the class ID and you will display it here in the output. Next, you will try to match with the third tuple, no match. So there's nothing that is retrieved. You try to match with the fourth, okay, 1111 with this. Again, there's no match, so nothing is retrieved. So from the first SID of the students table, I got two matches and the corresponding name and the class ID was retrieved and displayed here. Okay. So in the similar manner, we can do for the second SID. So you can take the second SID, check here, no match. So nothing is retrieved. Check here, no match, nothing is retrieved. Check here, yes, there's a match. Okay, we are using this condition. There's a match. So you retrieve the name and the class ID and put it in the output. Again, you check here, no match, so no retrieval. Okay, so that is how it works basically. So in simple words, here you can see this is not having any match here, so nothing is displayed about this SID in the output. Okay, Brown, the name Brown and the English 10, this is not displayed in the output because there is no match between the SIDs of the two tables. Okay, if this was like this, it was all trees instead of fours. Okay, then the output here would have been Brown and here it class ID would have been English 10. Okay, so I hope you got the idea of how the inner join works. So inner join only displays the rows in the output from the tables that are joined based on the match. Okay, whatever condition is mentioned in the join condition, if there's a perfect match, then whatever columns you are retrieving from in the select statement, those data items from those columns will be displayed in the output. Okay, here I've already explained to you why there's a no match. Okay, since there's no match, this is the same slide, only here it is just highlighted to show you that there is no match. So this was all about inner joints, a simple example to explain you how basically inner joint functions. Okay, next type of join we look is the left join. So basically left join returns all rows from the left table regardless of whether a row from the left table has a matching row from the right table or not. If there is no match, the columns of the row from the right table will contain a null. Okay, so this is how a left join works. Let's look with an example. So let's take the same data and the same tables that we looked at previously. Okay, only now instead of inner join, we are mentioning the left join. So what the left join will do is, okay, all the data from the left table, okay, will be displayed in the output regardless of whether there's a match in the right table. Okay, so which is your left table? This table here, students table, is your left table. Okay, and this table enrolled is your right table. So this is your left and this is your right. Okay, it's always like that, it's fixed. So after from clause, whatever table you mention will be the left table, and after the join, whatever table you mention will be the right table. Okay, so in case you want enrolled as the left table, then you need to mention this name here and students name here, because students will be the right table in case. Okay, just so that making it clear. So whatever table you put here will be your left table and here will be your right table. So now you can see again the query is the join condition is the same. We are matching the SID of the students table with the SID of the enroll table. Okay. So if there's a match, then obviously we are going to retrieve this whatever is mentioned in the select. If there is no match, still we will retrieve from the left table, but a right table will contain value will be null. Okay, let's understand how it works. Okay, so looking at this value here, there's a match here and there's a match here. Okay, so as you can see, for the first match, it retrieves the name Jones and the class ID history 105 and displays it here. Okay, for the second match, it retrieves the name Jones and the class ID data science 194 and displays it here. Okay, and now you can see there are no more matches. Okay, so it is done. Okay, it is done, it won't display anything further. Now moving on to the next SID 22222. So again it looks for matches. Okay, and it sees that there's a match here, so it retrieves the name and retrieves the class ID and displays it here. Okay, so basically wherever a match is found, that row columns only will be displayed, so the name and the class ID. Now going to the last one, the last SID in the students table. Now you can see here, okay, all the SIDs of the enroll table do not match with the SIDs of the third SID of the students table. Okay, but still, since this is a left join, okay, the name of the left table, this is the left table, the name of the left table will come in the output, will come in the output. So whenever there is no match, whenever there is no match, the name, okay, why the name? Because only one column we are retrieving from the students table. Okay, so the name will come in the output. Okay, now you can see we are also selecting the class ID from the enroll table, but since there was no match here, with the SIDs. Okay, from the right table, the value of class ID will be displayed as null. So this is what we meant by all the data values from the left table will be displayed. Okay, and if there is no match, then the right table value will be null. Okay, so I hope you got the idea of how it works. So just to summarize, there's a match here with, okay, so Jones is displayed with history as a class ID and data science as a class ID. Similarly for Smith, there's a match, okay, with these SIDs. So Smith and French is displayed. When you go to compare this SID, there is no match here in this table, okay. So therefore, the name is displayed because it is from the left table, but the class ID is from the right table. Okay, class ID is from the right table. So we do not display this value or any of these values for that matter. We put the value there as null because there was no match of this SID with any of the SIDs here. So we simply display the column from the left table and whatever is the value of that column, s dot name, okay, Brown, and the right table will be null. So this is how your left join works. Similarly, the next join is your right join. If you have understood the left join, the right join is the, what you can say is the opposite of the left join. So basically, the right join will return all rows from the right table, regardless of whether a row from the right table has a matching row from the left table or not. If there is no match, the columns of the row from the left table will contain a null. So let's run the same query, okay, but instead of having now as inner join or a left join, we are going to have a right join. Okay, so running this query here, we map this to this. Okay, there's a match, the join condition, so we display the name Jones and history 105. Again, you compare this SID with this SID, there's a match, so you display Jones and data science. Okay, from this you take the next SID, there are no more matches, so you take the next SID, okay, there's a match here, so you display Smith and you display French 150. Okay, now you try to compare the SIDs. Okay, there is one more SID that is left in the right table. This is the right table. Okay, that SID is this SID has not found any match in the left table. This join condition has not worked for this 44444. There is no match. But still, the data from the right table will be displayed. Okay, that is English 10. It will be displayed, but since there is no match, the corresponding name of the left table will be displayed as null. So this is how your right join works. So if no match is found, then it will show a null for the corresponding left table value. Okay, but it will surely display all the data from the right table. So you can see this is the all the data from the right table, which is your class ID. Okay, that entire data is surely displayed. Okay, so in case of a right join, the entire data from the right table is surely displayed. Whatever column you have mentioned from the right table here, the column, that data will be surely coming in the output. Okay, it has to. And the same is the case with the left join. If you are doing a left join, then whatever you have mentioned in the left table, that data surely comes in the output. Okay, that we have seen in the previous slide. So next type of join that we need to study is the cross join. So suppose you join two tables using the cross join clause, the result set will include all rows from both the tables, where each row is a combination of the row in the first table with the row in the second table. In general, if each table has n and m rows respectively, the result set will have n into m rows. Let's see what we understand by this. So suppose we are doing a cross join. So say I'm selecting all the columns from the two tables using the cross join. Okay, so from students with the alias S, and I'm doing the cross join with the enroll table with the alias E. So first what it will do is, since I'm selecting all the columns, okay, so it will basically what it will do is it will take this data, okay, here, and take this and display it. Okay, so it will display this as the first, then it will take this and display this. So it will take Jones 111 from here, okay, and it will take the second tuple of the enroll table and display it here. Then it will again take Jones from the first table, okay, that is your first tuple of the students table, and it will take the third tuple of the enroll table. Okay, so basically what it is doing is it combines the first row of the left side table with all the rows from the right side table. So this is the output based on that first row of the left side table, that is the students table, with all the rows from the right side table, which is your enroll table. So this is how it looks like. Okay, same process repeated for the second tuple. So now it takes the second tuple. Okay, it takes the second tuple and it forms a combination with all the rows with the of the enroll table. So basically it will take Smith 222 combined with this first. Okay, then it will take Smith 222 and combine with the second one. Then it will take Smith 222 and combine with the third tuple. So basically there were here two rows and there was 3 here. Okay, so we get 2 into 3, basically we get 6 rows in the output. Okay, 6 rows in the output. M into n, if this is m and this is n, then we will get m into n rows in the output. Okay, so basically cross join will show you all the rows in both the tables, because we are doing a cross join of two tables. So I hope you have understood the different types of joints with these examples. Thank you for listening.